I built a net worth of more than $10 billion. I have a great, great company. I employ thousands of people, and I'm very proud of the job I did.
Well, that was Donald Trump touting his business record during the big GOP debate. Is that what America needs? Hi, everyone. I'm Eric Bowling. Welcome to Cashin. America overwhelmingly believes jobs and the economy are the most important issues selecting the next president. Trump says it must be a businessman. Governor Scott Walker, who stood next to Trump on the big stage, may have another idea. I sat down with the GOP presidential hopeful a short time ago. Governor Walker, poll after poll shows the American people are very concerned about the economy and they're very concerned about jobs. Now, Donald Trump has been polling very high, and he says he's the businessman. He's the one who can fix things in America. You have been a career politician. However, you've done very well in Wisconsin. Which is the right answer? Is it the businessman or the successful politician for America?
Well, I think you want someone with a proven track record. It's not just being in office that matters. In our case, it's actually getting things done. We've fought and we've won. And we did things and actually accomplished things in a blue state like Wisconsin without compromising our principles. I think that's what people want. We had an unemployment rate of over 8%. It's down to 4.6%. We made up all the jobs we lost during the recession, and our labor participation rate is almost 5 points higher than it is nationally. I think those are the kind of proven results, even in a blue state like Wisconsin, that are applicable to the rest of the country.
Now, and there was another governor on the stage, the debate stage on Thursday night, Governor Kasich from Ohio, who has similar successful records as far as creating jobs and turning budgets around. So is that your competition, a governor with a successful track record?
Well, I think the key there is, and he's done a good job in Ohio. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here in Ohio. But I think what makes us unique is we've fought and we've won, and we've actually gotten accomplishments done, and we did it without compromising our principles. You know, Governor Kasich and I are good friends, but we have a slightly different track record. I did not take the Obamacare expansion of Medicaid. I have a pension system that's fully funded. I actually took on the big government union bosses and won those battles. We didn't just take them on. We actually won those battles, and of course, we're elected 3 times because of it. Those are the things that make us unique, even amongst the other governors that were on the stage last night.
Interesting, the Medicaid, and you're pointing towards Kasich's expansion of Medicaid. So a couple of quick topics I want to run down the line a little bit, because I have a question, something that happened at the debate as well. On immigration, there are those who say you've switched your position. Where are you on immigration? Is there a path to citizenship, i.e. amnesty?
Well, as I noted yesterday, I actually said on Chris Wallace's show about 8 months ago that I had indeed changed, and that's because I listened to the American people. People told me all across this country they're concerned. It was a position I hadn't been involved with much as a governor before, but I listened to the American people. My position is clear. I've actually now been to the border. I've seen the challenges. We need to secure the border. We need to enforce the laws of this country. I do not believe in amnesty. And going forward, I'm fairly unique in this. I believe we need to give priority when it comes to a legal immigration system, give priority to American working families and their wages in a way that I think will improve the American economy.
So, Governor, on the big debate Thursday night on the stage, there was a question asked to the gentleman to the other side of Donald Trump from you. It's Jeb Bush, former Governor Jeb Bush of Florida. Now he's been a big proponent of Common Core. The question was, do you support Common Core? And Jeb Bush answered that he was against any national curriculum for education. Yet, Governor, help me out here. Isn't that what Common Core is? And do you support Common Core?
Well, I don't support Common Core. I actually signed a budget that eliminated the requirement for school districts to use it, and I got rid of the funding for what's called Smarter Balance, which is a Common Core based test out there. And part of the challenge in this is it's not in the federal statutes, but ultimately the Department of Education at the federal level ties it into funding. And it's all the more reason why I've made the argument we should take money and power out of Washington and send it back not just to our states, but when it comes to education, back to our local school districts, where school boards that we elect locally can make the decision.
So did Jeb Bush misunderstand the question or just misspeak on what Common Core really is?
Well, that's part of the challenge out there. It's not like No Child Left Behind. It's not actually in the federal law, but because of the money tied in from the Department of Education, it does tie into that. And again, that's all the more reason why I've made the ongoing argument since the day I announced that we need to transfer power and money from Washington back to the states, and in the case of education, right back to the schools, where it's more effective, more efficient, and definitely more accountable to the American people.
Right. I understand about the money. I was just talking about the curriculum part of it. Okay, let's move on. Also, during that debate, there was a big mano a mano. There was a line drawn in the sand. On one side, Chris Christie in favor of NSA data mining Americans. On the other side, Rand Paul pushing back, saying it's unconstitutional. It's a very clear, it's one side or the other, Governor. Which side of that fence are you on?
Well, I want to defend people's children and grandchildren and society as a whole. I want to keep us safer out there. And I believe our national security and intelligence agencies need to have access to information to go after terrorists out there. Now, what we're talking about is metadata that's actually held. You don't get to go into it. You don't get to eavesdrop. It's why I supported reauthorization of the Patriot Act, because we need to have access to the information. Then if there's a reasonable suspicion to need to use that, you still have to go through the normal legal process that's legal and constitutional to tap into that. But if you don't have the information set aside, when you believe there's a reasonable suspicion to believe that someone's tied into terrorist acts, you're not going to have the data out there. So I'm going to err on the side of safety. In light of Chattanooga and other places across the country, we need more information to go after terrorists.
But Governor, the individual companies, the Verizons, the AT&Ts, they're holding the data anyway. They're required to hold it, and they do hold it. Those could be tapped through the FISA court anyway with a warrant, but the NSA, as we know, had been doing without the actual warrant.
Well, we need to clamp down on the NSA and any other agency under this administration. Part of the problem is we just can't trust the Obama administration in many regards. But when it comes to the use of this information, if we don't have provisions like the Patriot Act, those private companies eventually aren't going to have to hold that data for an extended period of time. That's the essence of why the Patriot Act is so important. And it's why places like France and others around the world have been looking at going even more aggressively than what we've done here in the United States, because they've seen the threats in their own home countries, and they want to avoid that from happening again, just like we should do the same here in America.
Governor, real quick, I know you got to go. I want to play a little soundbite from Thursday night's debate. I think it was your best line. Take a listen. I want you to weigh in.
It's sad to think right now, but probably the Russian and Chinese government know more about Hillary Clinton's email server than do the members of the United States Congress.
That was a great line. And you're right. And that's scary.
Well, it is. I mean, think about it. When you think about Hillary Clinton's emails, she said that there wasn't classified information. We found out that there indeed was, and we're going to find out even more, I fear, in the future. And it's not just about pointing out that the Russian and Chinese governments know more. It actually potentially has put our national security at risk. I said Hillary Clinton could be the deceiver-in-chief, but I don't think we can trust her to be the commander-in-chief. And I think that's what we should be spending our time focusing on, is the difference between what we offer and what Hillary Clinton offers. It would not be good for America, not just for Republicans, but for Americans, if Hillary Clinton were president of the United States. I think I can offer the best contrast to her and win the election next fall.
Governor Scott Walker, thank you very much for spending some time with us this morning.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Coming up, our Cashin crew is here and ready to roll. Two candidates taking on entitlement reform during the big debate. Who has the right message to rein in Social Security? We debate, you decide.
You say that some of the candidates here on the stage are lying. Governor Huckabee says he can save Social Security and Medicare without doing any of that. Is he lying?
No, he's not lying. He's just wrong.